All right, good evening, everyone. This is Jackie Geisinger, and I am so excited to have you here together for the Miami Movers, our wonderful Monday night Miami Movers, as we're kicking off the February month. Oh my gosh, here we go. We already have 2 months on the road to Miami behind us. So what we're looking at together is how can we focus on earning Miami in the next 12 weeks? So we're going to break that down a little bit tonight and really get your mind wrapped around it. Last week, we really kicked it off with, do you have your environment? Do you have your mindset? Do you have your attitude programmed every day when you wake up to be thinking Miami, moving to Miami, dancing to Miami, seeing Miami? Are you really in Miami? That was our #1 focus last week. And then we kicked it off with really a challenge, a call to action to say, let's get simple. We're not here selling, recruiting, sponsoring. You know what we're really doing? We're inviting people to be coached into a business in a wonderful platform like we just saw Scott share. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about all the tools we have to share our opportunity. And we're here consulting women to look their absolute best with high quality products that are innovatively smart to solve their needs. So we really talked about consulting and inviting people to be coached versus, oh, I sell Jeffra, I want to sponsor you, could you become a consultant for me? It's really about them. And the way we do that is really focused on 100. We talked about 100 is our focus. And I remember when I heard this amazingly brilliant woman, she was a part of our President's Club last year. She has sat in the office where Scott resides in Jeffra. She has served from a corporate side of Jeffra to being a building district director in the field, has wisdom of this business inside and out, and really brought a story to me not too long ago that I cannot ever get out of my head. And I just wanted her to share the story. I know I've probably talked about it with you or shared it, but she's here live to share with you, what does 100 connections really mean and how would that help me earn Miami? So without further ado, please help me welcome from the beautiful state of California, our beautiful inside and out district director, Janet Flores. Thank you for joining us tonight, Janet.
Oh, thank you. And it's great to be here. I just want to share that the reason that I even did this whole thing was because I went back into the field. I needed to start my branch again. I knew everyone I knew either worked at Jafra or I had sponsored them into other people's branches. So that was daunting. And I was listening to a direct selling trainer, and he said, when you contact and make contacts with 100 people in 30 days, Jackie missed the 30-day part, but 100 people in 30 days, that you will jumpstart your business. So I thought, okay. And then I thought, I'm going to do this and I'm going to track it because I know I'm going to meet people who say to me, well, I don't know anybody, so I could never start a business. Well, literally, I had been traveling for 13 years, and the people I knew were at Jafra, or they were friends of mine that were in other branches. So what I did is first of all, I made the commitment. And then I got this spiral notebook. This is actually the spiral notebook. It's kind of beat up now. But I got a spiral notebook, and in the spiral notebook, I would just put, leads. When I would get leads, and I would write the name, the phone number, where I met them, and usually did 2 to a page. And if they had a party, I would count the 2 or 3 people at their party as one of the new referrals. So I would write the person's name down. I mean, I would count those because I was looking for 100. Well, the first week was real, I where would I go? I would go to the bank. I would take more time, and if I was going to be at the grocery store or if I was going to be someplace, I would just have extra time where I could carry on a conversation. And the biggest challenge is once you get 10 or 15 leads, and then it's the follow through. And you have to, the magic is in the follow up. So then you get very busy, you know, and I was talking to 5 people a day. That was my goal. And then to get the Jaffra, you know, to have them either host a party, to have an individual facial, or, you know, to take a look at the opportunity. And I did it. And out of the 100 people, I will tell you, the first 60, it seemed to me, were no. They weren't interested, dead ends, you know, whatever. Couldn't reach him again. But out of 40 people, I had 4,000 in sales and 8 new sponsors. So the hardest part was not looking at the results until the end and just saying, okay, it's a dead end, let's go to the next one. I would just put a big X and cross that lead name. Next time, you know, someone else. But so I'll take questions, because you probably want to know what I said to people. Is that one of the questions, Lori? Yes.
Yes. What did you say to people?
Okay.
That's what I want to know.
Right. So, well, I'll just give you some examples. One time I was sitting, well, I had this little game I played with myself, because it was very hard for me to just talk to someone, and especially to talk to someone about something I had that they could buy. You know, I mean, it was just very uncomfortable. And I was in the post office one time, and I saw this beautiful young gal, and she was a couple, maybe one person ahead of me, and I thought, what? I mean, the line was long, I could have just talked to her. But I kept talking to myself in my head and giving myself all kinds of excuses. Well, she got up there, and she ended up finishing, and it was my turn next. So I thought, okay, if she's out there, I'm going to talk to her. She was out there, thank goodness. Anyway, so I said to her, I said, excuse me, I don't usually run up to people and strangers and start talking to them, but I was just looking at you. You have a beautiful young woman, and we just came out with these new foundations, and I would love it if you would let me try them on you, you know, and see if how they fit, you know, how they work for you. And she said, I cannot believe you're asking me this, because I'm looking for foundation. I said, seriously? Anyway, long story short, after a year, she had a party for me that was over $700. So it took that long, but we built a relationship. Another way that I would talk, I still do this, you know, if I see someone, I ask them a question. This is could I ask you a question, Lori? Play with me.
Yes.
Yes? Oh, good. Because I'm just noticing you have the most beautiful eye makeup on. It looks like you like makeup. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, you do. Usually they go, yeah, I love makeup. And, well, the reason I'm asking you is that I'm with a beauty company. I have my own business, and I'm looking for women who might like to have their own beauty business or just buy really good products. Would you be interested in taking a look?
Would I get a discount on my stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to.
Right. Okay. So, and that's you. I mean, you know, you go with the flow of what the conversation is. But first of all, I say, can I ask you a question? And they say yes. They always say yes. So that's your first yes. And then the second one, I recognize something about her. She has beautiful makeup, or I noticed your smile, or whatever it is. So you're complimenting her on something honestly, because I want to get to know her. There's something about her that attracts me. And then the third thing is I ask them, sometimes I'll just say, well, gosh, I would love to treat you. If they're with kids or something, you're really busy, Mom, I would love to treat you to some of the products that I have. Would you like to do that? what is it? So they start asking you, well, what is it? And I say, oh my God, it's this wonderful product. You probably never even heard about it. It's called Jafra. Oh yeah, my grandmother used to use that. Oh, okay. Well, it's a new Jafra. So,
One
anyway.
of the girls is asking in the chat if you give them a brochure right away.
Sometimes I don't have the brochure out to give to them. I did today. I was at the bank and I met a woman, and she was really nice. And that was the way I introduced. I mean, I had met her and we had talked, but then I came back and I said, Kathleen, would you? I have no idea if you'd be even interested in this, but I have this brochure, and I would love it if you would put it in the coffee room so everybody could see it, because there are some really good deals. And she said, sure. And she said, oh, Jafra. And I said, yes, you know Jafra? Oh, yeah. I used to use it. We hear that a lot. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I would just love to introduce you to the new products. Do you use anything particular now? And she said, well, I think she said no. Well, she said no, I think. Anyway, I said, well, because I would love it if you would try these and give me your opinion. And I had the samples with me. So I gave her the samples, and then I'm going to check back with her. And I said, use it on one cheek for, 3 days. Oh, she said, I'll have to wait till the weekend. I said, okay, let's redo that. I said, it holds about enough for 2 or 3 days. You can use it on your whole face, but you have to, so that you can compare. And she said, okay. So I'm going to talk to her tomorrow and see if she used it.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I only can use it on half my face. What?
Yeah, I'm going to have to wait, So. But the idea is that she was open to it and she was interested, and it's another contact, and it's up to me to follow through. Then I take a brochure every month, the new brochure, to a group in a medical clinic. And I went in today, and this one girl is interested in joining Jafra, but she works for Uber, so she's too busy, right? So I said to her, okay, no, I brought it in, and how are you doing? Are you ready now? And she said, well, I'm really seriously going to not do Uber. And I said, oh, good. I said, then you'll have time for Jafra. But this has been over a period of time, but now she's comfortable, and I can't wait to be able to send her this so she can see it. So it isn't magic. What I would say is you have to follow through, and you have to be concerned about letting people know and giving them information and education, but don't be concerned about the results, because you will get the results if you do make 100 contacts in 30 days. If you make 100 contacts in a year, it's a whole different scenario.
So Janet, let me just clarify a couple things, just based on a question that Roseanne has. It's not just spamming 100 people, right?
Oh, no.
It's a connection, right? It's a conversation.
It's a connection, right. In fact, it's a connection with the invitation. I mean, what you're trying to do is get them to have a back of the hand facial, have a real facial, get some friends together. I mean, you're looking for the contact. That's what the whole purpose is.
And that was perfect. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So you're right there. So the question Roseanne has is, how do you get into getting their contact info? Kind of roll us
into. Okay. So I would love to treat you. Oh my gosh, why don't you now we have the cell phone and everything, but just let me write your name and number down, and then tomorrow, I always went out knowing the next 2 open dates I had, because, I would say, are you available tomorrow? And then, no, but Saturday probably. Okay, well, how about if I text you is what I would say now, and we'll set it up for Saturday. So that, because sometimes they're working, they're right in the middle of something. And sometimes they'll just do it. And sometimes they will never text you back. Mm-hmm. And it's not anything personal at all. It's just like, that happens.
It's not their need at that time, right? So
Right.
it's
Not their
you
need.
have to remove the results. What I loved when I had talked to Janet, I wanted her to share a couple of things when we had talked right before Dallas. One is that what I loved about her 100 focus magically in 30 days. So the key
Yeah.
is 30 days, okay, which we charged you all to do for the month of February. That is, it's like, get your mindset, decide, just like Janet said.
Yeah.
She made that decision. She needed one thing to focus on that would flip her because she was stuck and had to start completely all over. And if she knew that if she just connected, had conversation, and had the privilege to invite 100 people, and if you watch the 8 modules in Beautiful, in case you need to go back for a refresher, it talks about that, how to prospect. There's just great training modules there if you feel stuck at all. But the reality is she went out and she tracked it. Own it, track it. That's the best part. And I love what you said, Janet, that it really wasn't about the result. You know, it was like, okay, here's my numbers, here's what's happening. But by the time you're halfway through, there's already sponsoring and sales. And at the end of 30 days, it was remarkable. It changed your entire business.
Oh, yeah. But I'm going to tell you, I want to share, too, just a little mechanical thing that was hugely helpful for me. Because when, once you have 30 contacts, and I had 15 pages in here, and I didn't want to keep writing down their names and phone numbers. So I numbered the pages. So each page has a number on it. And I would say, follow up, page 22, Mary. And then I would keep my notes there. And that was extremely helpful. I don't know who told me that, but it was extremely helpful. So all I had to do is write the page number, the name of the person, and that would trigger me to go back to my notebook. And then I could make comments.
And Janet, I'm going to move you further. She didn't know she was going to share this, but like I said, had the privilege to talk to her before Dallas. So there's 2 parts to Miami that matter. 1 is sponsoring, right? 2, you can also build some points from sales. But the most important piece is to connect with them to Business Builder, right? Mm-hmm. So you have just I loved when you and I were chatting that day about, what's really important. We've sponsored. Now, how do we help them get off to their strong start? And you really had, I don't know if you remember your conversation, but it was the most important piece to this. Just like you said, the magic and the follow-up to somebody interested, or at least willing to take a look at it to see if it suits them. Then they become a consultant. Now it's really important to keep connecting, communicating, building that relationship. So how would you say we've sponsored and start moving them to Business Builder?
Well, first of all, you've got to find out what they want. Like Lori said, okay, can I get a discount? And I said, yeah. So if she said, okay, I'll do it. I said, okay, Lori, what kind of a discount do you want? I mean, I would talk to her and I would say, well, would you rather have a discount or would you rather have it free? I know she's going to say free. So then I say, okay, let's talk about who else would like to have, a discount. And who do you know that likes good skincare? So you have to get their contact list right then. Just like to do this 100, you have to, my contact list was, where can I go? Where can I go that there would be women there, which is my contact list today. Where can I go? Who could I talk to? Who do I know? That was another thing I did. I thought, who do I know that knows other people who would be willing to help me? Maybe they would host a party, or maybe they'd bring people to my house, or maybe they know someone who'd like extra money. So that's part of your contact list. Think of who do you know who. And then my favorite story is my friend who had exhausted all of her contacts. She said, I do not have anyone, there is no one. And I said, okay, so there's no one. And I said, now, this is what I want you to think about. Who's that person that you just have known would not be interested in Jafra? Oh, who is it? Or who's that? You know, or maybe she might be interested, but you're too afraid to talk to her. And so we went through this for about 15 minutes, and she thought of someone. And I said, okay, then, you know, we'll call her.
I love it. Do the not interested list. Get that out of the way.
Yeah, right.
Right. And then go to the interested. That's funny.
but I think the emotional stress, humanness of when they do say no, or there's a dead end, or, you know, whatever, we all feel that. I mean, I had a consultant I would call, okay, Debbie, now I said this, what else do I say? Because I was so out of the habit. It's like getting onto a bicycle. Well, the first time you get on after not being on it for 20 years, or roller skates or something, you're not very good. And that's the way I was. I was not very good because I wasn't doing it for myself. I was still getting leads, but I was giving them away. That's a different deal. When you're getting them for yourself, it's different. The other thing you can do is you can go with a friend, and she gets leads for you, and you get leads for her. And that's another way to do it. I mean, sometimes it's easier.
And I love that. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, but it's just practice, right?
Oh, it's practice. That's what it was.
Connecting to 5 people a day, and you set the intention, and that has to, again, be a part of every day. When you do that intention, it's so fun to just say, when we were doing Paint It Purple, this is your examples I witnessed you all do. Many of you went painting it purple with people who weren't in Jaffra, because you didn't have any consultants around you. So you're like, I'm going to grab some fun friends, and we're just going to go paint the town purple. And I remember the girls in Wisconsin, I don't know if you remember some of these webinars, they had their overall bibs on, and they took paint cans and made them purple. And they said, we're just out painting the town purple. We don't know if you've heard of Jaffra Cosmetics, but here's who we are. We're looking for people that might be looking for us. And they went out and painted it purple, but they had friends do it. You know what? The friends have no fears, right? And they're like, oh, and you could give them a free royal jelly, whoever gets the most, you know, people interested, right? Not just spamming. But it was really fun, and we saw some really cool results. Like you said, Janet, you know what? Don't be afraid to bring people along for the fun experience. Some of them ended up, I think Nancy Milan was one of them, ended up sponsoring some of those friends, because like, that was easy. That was so much fun. And it helped her just have that courage. Like you said, it's getting it started. And the key is that consistency. And I'm going to come back to a couple of questions here. But let me kind of summarize. When I spoke to Janet, because again, the key is, okay, we sponsored, but they have to get to Business Builder, right? So Janet said something so important. One is asking them what they need, how they see themselves doing this. Similar words that Scott just shared in the opportunity meeting, which was awesome. There's some really great verbiage there, very simple. And then again, staying in touch. There's one thing I kept hearing Janet say when I asked her a couple of questions about success. It was really staying in communication, you know, texting, calling, working with them after they've set those goals, made that list, knowing what their steps are, just staying right alongside there. And it's a relationship, right? So again, it's not, oh, you have to get to 1,500 for me. It's look what's in it for you. And how does that make you feel succeeding at that goal, earning that royal jelly? How quickly do you want that, or the iPad? Who's the first 4 people? You're helping them, kind of that 90-day guide, sort of quick checklist interview going there. So Janet, anything else you'd add to that before I go back to questions?
No, I mean, you have be in touch, but you see, the challenge is you need to be in touch, but you need to know what they want. Because sometimes what happens is we try to be in touch with people that really don't want much.
You got it.
And that's no fun, and it's stressful. So, you know, gosh, what would you like? I mean, because I have a special team of business builders. Would you like to be part of that, for example? And then you've got your team, and see, you can win. You know, if you really want to make some money, you can do it in a month. That's okay. It doesn't take 3 months. You can do it in a month. You don't get another one if you do it the next month, but you know, it's a quarterly deal, but you have up to a quarter. So if you want that free that free Stay Royal set, you can get it in a month. So if that kind of camaraderie when you have like-minded people.
Excellent. So I'm going to share just a couple of comments here, kind of questions. So is there any tips you have when you're giving away any of the royal jelly sachets that you can that you see works better when you're giving them the sachet and having that follow-up connection and you know they're using it? So if you're struggling, you're giving them away, but nobody's reciprocating back or using it. Any tips you have on that, Janet?
Well, Vicki Hoover's really good at this, but the one thing is you need to get the commitment. So if I gave you some samples, would you test them? So you will. Would you do it tonight? Well, I can't do it tonight, but I could do it tomorrow. I mean, they'll tell you. Say, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it. Give me, let me get your cell number or the best way to communicate with you. And then I'm going to, usually it's texting. So then you text them and say, thank you so much. It was so great that you're going to try these. I can't wait to hear how you like them, how your skin likes them. So then you need to do that, and then you need to go in, or, if you see them or however it is the next day, so that, did you try them? Like, this happened to me just last week. And I said, so how did you like the products I gave you? Oh, I haven't tried them yet. Okay, I'm so glad I asked you, because I'm going to do it this weekend, I promise you. Okay, so now I know when to follow up with her, right?
Excellent. So again, there's another piece. You have tools. So one, you're connecting, you have samples, right? You have brochures. You do have some videos that are in Jafra Beautiful. You have some videos, social.jafra.com. So that if they're interested, again, it's based on their interest, right? Like Janet said, what do they want? It's not what I want, right? It's what they're interested in by asking questions, listening just enough. And so, again, you could text and copy and paste. There's an opportunity video already ready. It's not the new ones here, but there's one there already with a link right in the sponsoring under the library for training. So there's different tools. You have some royal jelly snippets. There's all sorts of tools in there so that they could take a look at a video. If I could give you this, would you be willing to take a look at it? Similar to what Janet's saying. If you notice her verbiage, if I were to give you this, would you? And then tell me when. So, and let me get your best way to contact you. And let's set up one we're going to, again, check back in.
Well,
so
with that gal, I did send her the royal jelly video, the introduction to the royal jelly rituals. I said, so if I sent you a video, so since you're going to use it, if I sent you the video so that you have a little bit more background, would you like that? Oh yeah, that'd be great. So I did send her that.
That is an awesome video. I love a video and a sample.
Is that in Beautiful? Because I found it on YouTube when Pragna did it, and I downloaded it, but I couldn't find it again.
I'd have to go back and take a peek under product. I don't study product as much as I do all the other training. Or social.jafra.com.
Okay,
it's a good question. But again, you do have, you're spot on. You have a variety of resources. There's always YouTube. Yeah. There's always social.jafra.com, and then everything in Beautiful. So know the resources are there. Our goal is eventually everything will be in one spot in Beautiful. So you can see why we're shifting. So we move everything there for you. But I love that combination. I think that's excellent. Let me come to another question. Carolyn Graham had asked, when you were doing your, pardon? Sorry, when you were doing your 100, again, do you go back to old leads? And I don't know if you had any at that time, but let's just.
But of course. Okay. The idea is to reconnect. I mean, and if you have a list of old leads, you can call them. For me, it's a little harder on the phone. I'm better off finding, seeing them face to face. But yeah, of course, you could do that. That would be one way, just to see if you can reach them.
Excellent. Okay. And any advice? I've had someone who has said, oh, yes, I'm so interested 3 months in a row. This is, I think, Carolyn again. Had somebody, she's been interested for 3 months. Oh, yeah, gonna sign up, gonna set up. Doesn't happen. 3 months go by. She's missed $29 kit, the 2-for-1. Any tips you have for that?
Oh, well, sometimes they're just not ready. I mean, because I have those too. And so I just, unless they tell me not to call them, okay, check it in. Is this the right time? Are you ready? Is this, but this is the key. If they say maybe, you have to emotionally take it as a no and move on, except that you need to go back because they said maybe. It's easier if they just say yes or no, but not everyone does that. Sometimes some people cannot say no. I don't want to do it. And sometimes I've said, we've kind of been going back and forth. If this is something you would never want to do, no problem. Just let me know. It's okay. I still like you and I'll still give you a supply, but because I don't want to bug you. I had a girl make an appointment with me and I couldn't, try to get me to make an appointment with her, but I was at an event and I couldn't go at the time she asked me. Never, texting, everything, nothing. I saw her, oh yes, I'm interested, blah, blah, blah. So emotionally, you have to let it go. That's the biggest thing. If you can learn how to not take it personally. Jan Day used to tell me, it's a personal business, but you can't take it personally. You've done your job. If you have gotten back to her, been open, said it's available this month, are you ready this month? If she's not, okay, but don't keep going back to that same person and think that you're talking to 30 people, because you're not. You're talking to one person. And each time it's more depressing because she promises you one thing and does something else.
Well, and I think overall, again, the key is when you're having 5 new connections a day, instead of putting your eggs into the basket of 5, the same 5 people, it just keeps going. And you're like, great, I'm here to serve you when you have a need, right? If you see that you're serving, you're not pressuring, right? It's not that. It's about when they're ready. Remember this, if you look in the 90-day guide that's online under the library training, how many contacts, where does the highest percentage, like 80%, where does the highest percentage of yeses happen?
Like the 6th or 7th contact. Yeah,
6, 7, 8. That's how many connections. So you just keep serving them when they say, great, maybe, but not right now. Great. When may I give you a call back? Next month? Or are you waiting until spring? I love, Janet, that you said something very magical. If you don't have an interest at all, I want to say it's okay to tell me that. Release them. Yeah. It's a really cool, freeing process. And they're like, no, I don't mean I'm not interested. Yeah. It's just not timing. Suddenly, they're more interested. Right. It is absolutely one of my favorite questions in closing is saying that. I love that you brought that up. Very, but it's true from your heart. You can keep going. You're not desperate because every day you're going to have 5 new connections to people and relationships.
And so, this is something else that anyone who's going to try this formula is when you're doing your follow-up, put the date, kind of just a short thing that will remind you of what happened, because that's another thing you can track. How many contacts did it take to get either a yes, a no, or party or whatever? And so that's another helpful thing when you're building your district is you go, okay, I know, these are the numbers. This is what it took.
Exactly. So again, what was the end result of the first 100 that you did from that first takeoff?
It was 4,000 in sales and 8 new consultants.
Excellent. And then I'm sure from there, that was the launch pad to your business continuing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh,
yeah.
And I love that Cheryl Sykes also said, I know Jan Iverson used to say it, Jan Day used to say it, all of you district directors were the ones who taught us all. that, once you have your first 100 consultants on your team, you'll be a DD. So there's the power of 100, right? So
Yeah,
I love that. So I think, again, I want to say a great big thank you to Janet Flores. We hope, again, we can bring you some experts at our focuses each and every month, because it really is proof in the pudding. If you want something, you got to have a key focus, right? And you've got to be disciplined to do that. Break it down and do it daily. You can't say 100 can feel overwhelming, but just those 5 a day like you did, Janet, is really the key. And in the end, don't worry about the results. All of a sudden at the end, here she had 8 sponsors in a month, right? And thousands of dollars. Imagine February having $4,000 in sales and 8 sponsors. If not, what if that happened during February, March? That's how you track to be on Miami and on track for Miami over 12 weeks. Focus on 12 weeks short term and use the month of May to finish out anything you need to or bump to the next level. And that's really what we wanted to focus on. So Lori, I know, has posted in your group chat the videos about Royal Jelly. Thank you so much. Always our resource, Queen Bee. So she's got all of those different postings there. Janet, everybody's saying thank you so very much. We are so grateful to have you help us kick off this focus for the month, because once you do the first 100, why not do the next 100, right? So you've got a lot of bonuses and cash on the table right now with Jafra, not just Miami. So again, thank you from our District Director and President's Club, Janet Flores.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to come back. I'm going to have you do a little thought process, okay? And we can have open mics, so this isn't me training. You had the best training right there. But we talked about this plan, and I already posted these pictures on our WhatsApp group. I'll always take another screenshot. And it's not about you reading it perfect, but it's about, if you want, we got to have a launch month, right, together as a team. So what I want to have us doing throughout the month now is really utilizing WhatsApp and helping share what happened during your 100 focus week. When you get 25 in a week, do a shout out on WhatsApp and say, okay, I hit my first 25. I'm on my second 25 to 50. Wow, look at what's happening. Kind of do that week to week. This is so exciting, right? So it's you sharing, but WhatsApp only works when we're all having dialogue conversations and sharing ideas and a focus. So again, we're going to keep doing this throughout the month. I already posted there, by the way, the 100 list. If you go into the Jafra library in Be Beautiful, you'll see it under consultants. You'll see the 100 contact list. You can use a notebook, use what you want, but right there, all we did was we broke down JAFRA for making a contact list, and we numbered it. We have 25 in each category, because it's similar to what Janet said, whether you're using your brain thinking process of the memory jogger, and like Carolyn said, okay, great. Could that be as well? That you're taking, from old leads to people people your friends know, people you don't know, but those people know. It's about, right, as Scott shared, it's connect, and then it keeps expanding. If there's one tip I could bring to you from a focus group that I work with every Monday, is we've really tapped into, and I know you all know, I'm a huge proponent of Eric Worre Go Pro. And I know Nicole's jumping out of her chair because she read it all in one day. Woo woo! Her new best friend, Eric Worre, right? So I watched all his videos on the treadmill today. But I wanted to just share from there the reason I said something about that, and I just lost it. There goes my cough drop brain. But it's about, oh, this is it. Sorry. So as you work with your clients and your friends and your contacts, start thinking expansion this way. Do you know where they work? This is what Janet was talking about, which was perfectly, really, really smart. Where do your clients work? Keep that in your client records. What clubs or organizations are they affiliated with? Because imagine when you connect into a warm market versus going out every day finding 5 people in the cold market. They already know you. They have a relationship. Every consultant, every leader, every person on your memory jogger or the JAFRA list are affiliated to something, so that you have a way to maybe go in and offer, in the office, you can go in and do something. Maybe they're involved with church groups and you can do couples pampering night for Valentine's Day. So be thinking that every connection you have is reachable to expansion, because 10 people could bring you to 100, or you can go find 100 one by one. It's all in how you want to multiply, right? Through people. So when we did this plan, we said, okay, if you're going to have 100 contacts, how many days are you willing to work at your business? Divide that out, and that's the number you need every day during February. We're going to recognize March 1st all who did the 100. We want to share our results. I'm not stuck on the results. So maybe you didn't get all the yeses, right? That's okay. They're going to come. This is planting seeds. So we're going to be tracking that. Keep each other working with that. If you're here as a leader and you've got Miami movers in your team, that's a key focus, because that's the practice that it takes to become confident and persistent and consistent.
Jackie.
So again, be prepared to a couple of things. Again, what does that mean? It means have your list, right? So how many do you need each day? Where are you going to go? Is it going to be along your day? Is it people you know? And since you're going to maybe meet with someone for a facial, could they bring a couple of people along so that you're multiplying? What can you be posting on Facebook or observing people's lifestyle in Facebook? And always end, like Janet said, who do you know that might be looking? So this is where we started last week. And now you see why we brought that back with Janet Flores. She said something key. Commit to it, plan it, do it, track it, and follow up fast, right? And then again, invite them somewhere and have them bring people along, okay? So let me go to one more piece. We did this last week. I know this is goofy writing, but it's so fun and simple. So, sorry, Lori, did you have something before I go on?
Well, it was just, if I can read this little tiny piece of this book, GoPro. And this one really made an impression on me, because I get stuck on who I'm talking to, who are these contacts, what am I supposed to do with them, kind of like we've been saying. And this really stuck out to me. It was the guy, Harvey, who wrote How to Swim with Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. He said that his father sat him down at the age of 18 and said, starting today and for the rest of your life, I want you to take every person you meet, get their contact information, and find a creative way to stay in touch. He's done that for over 60 years, and today his list of friends totals more than 12,000 people. And these aren't just social media friends, they're real friends. And then the author says he's considered himself fortunate to be one of them. But it was interesting to me because it wasn't go out and prospect all these people. It was go out and build friendships, and real friendships, and find a creative way. And I like creativity. So I was like, ooh, a creative way to stay in touch with them. So it's not about I'm pushing Jafra on you. It's this is who I am as a person. I like you as a person. Let's stay in touch. And whatever comes of that, we share our lives. So you're going to hear about Jafra because that's my life. And I'm going to hear about what you have to offer. And we're going to build a friendship and help each other. And so to me, it was really a powerful thing to read. It was like, ooh, I like that. I like that way of talking to people and building relationships, because that's really what this is all about.
It's exactly what we did on the very first Miami. Thank you, Lori. Me too. Remember, even last week we said, it's just conversations. Please don't sell. Don't try to sponsor them when you meet them. It's not about the result. It's that gift of giving it away. We just had a crime session on an opportunity meeting. If that doesn't make you want to go share this and make lives more beautiful, oh my gosh, I don't know what else there is. But Eric Worre, when he does the first video that you see on Facebook, he has the 7 steps to become a professional in this business. Now that Nicole's full-time, Linda White's full-time, everybody's moving into full-time Jafra, right? It's make that decision, what Janet said, get the mindset, and look at number 3. He doesn't really necessarily believe in a 100 list. What he believes in is making 100 friends or connections. Collect friends. Love it. It's exactly what Lori picked out of the book. Be positive daily. Always be prepared. Think bigger and be enthusiastic, right? So it's so true. Sometimes we get stuck on the words and in our head, like Janet was at the post office line. And when you just let that go and you just work from the heart, I'm going to open this up. So I want y'all, we're going to share a couple of things. We talked about OCI last week, right? Nicole, you're gonna end our session tonight, Nicole, with about this book, because I heard you're on fire with it. So you're gonna be our closing why you gotta read the book, okay? So the OCI, remember, Janet said it perfect, okay? So I'm gonna ask you all to think about you. Go back to when you were invited to Jafra, and this whole time, whenever you come to one of these, I hope you're making a list of people that you forgot to invite, or people who you need to re-invite, okay? So I hope every time you're here, you're building a list, not just grabbing info. So think about what she said. She's observing. She's looking for quality. She saw someone beautiful. She really wanted to see what she thought about, the opportunity to try the new foundations. Maybe their actions, maybe their qualities. Maybe you saw on Facebook, they talked about their lifestyle. They hate their 4 jobs. Maybe how they behave, and you know that they're successful at everything they do, and you would love to have them on your team and have them take a look. You're looking for successful women. Maybe it's their needs again, dreams, anything. Whether you're noticing it, you're hearing it, you're seeing it, okay? Because this, you're seeing and you're listening. So let me ask this to the audience. All right, team, what did you hear, or what did someone say to you that made you say yes? And just pop it out in a quick sentence. Anyone remember?
It was the $99 for $600 worth of products and 50% commission. I was like, I'm in, because for me there was no loss. There was no way I could lose in that situation. Even if I never did one thing with the business, I was winning. So it wasn't a risk. There was no risk involved, and that totally got me, because that's where I was at the time. Didn't have a lot to risk.
So little risk,
yep,
big opportunity.
Exactly.
Right? Can't fail, period. Giving this the decision to try. Say yes to Jafra. Are you ready? Right? Okay, awesome. What else?
Well, the 50% really got me, because there's so many other companies out there that, you can't get over 15 or 20%. And there's only one other company that gives 50% straight out the gate. And I knew I didn't want to go with them. So I was pretty excited about being able to get 50% as a brand new consultant. I didn't have to build for 25 years and have 1,000 people under me. It was just 50%. And I thought I was going to die when I found it. It was perfect.
So thank you. Do you remember what someone said? And I'll give you an example. So I was called weekly for 1, 2, 3. It had to be 10 weeks straight. I was called every week. I gave her permission to keep calling me. And then I was bored, and she hit me on a weak moment. And I said, sure, I'll come to your party finally. Because she held a weekly party at her house every Thursday night. And she asked permission if she could call. But what she said to me was, I was given your name because your mom, thanks mom, thought you would be really good at this at college. You're studying business. You work in the cosmetics department at the white drugstore, and you love fashion and beauty. And your mom just thought this would be a perfect fit for you. But I'd love you to just come and experience the products. This is what I have. This is what I do. And you can grab a friend or two to come along. So she already knew enough, right? Qualities, who I was, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you hear something, sometimes people say something, right? So anything else you remember hearing, seeing, observing what someone said to you?
Well, when I joined Jafra, I had been a client for a while, and Martha had asked me to join. I don't know how many years. She told me I'd be good at it, but I was invited by someone to come to a different business opportunity meeting in direct sales. And listening to that presentation, all they were talking about was signing up basically wholesale shoppers. And I knew you can never build a business without a client base. And that's what directed me back to Martha to say, tell me more about making money with Jafra. And really it was knowing that you've got a sound business model behind the product. It's not just, getting a kit and sticking it in the closet. There's more to it than that.
Excellent. And thank you, Cheryl and Jackie and Lori. I also can say, I see some great comments coming in here I wanted to share. Again, think about if you just pause every morning and you give yourself that 5-10 minutes of clarity. Okay, today is Magic Monday. And I can't wait, positivity, Eric Worre, to make 5 new friends today, right? And give them the privilege to get to know me, and we'll eventually connect them to Jafra because I know I've got the best thing, right? So you get that, and you think about your day and where you're going to be, because you got to weave it in, like Nicole said on the opportunity. I got to weave this in. I got 15 minutes here. You know what? Since I'm going to run in with the kids at the doctor office, what could I do while I'm there? That's that preparedness. Stop and think about where will you connect, and just give a relationship opportunity to 5 people that day. So by doing that, again, you can see it happening. And you don't get filled up with all the self-doubt or beating yourself up, right? And so, again, think about everything you're hearing. Here's some more. Again, Lucy tried the Precious Protein. She knew it was great quality, right? Angie was ready. She heard Taking Care of Me. She was in the take care of me mode because she was post baby time. Rochelle, she heard about royal jelly and how she could get it because she loved it. You heard it from a client perspective, like Cheryl said. Jackie saw business 50%, OMG. Lori saw the value of the kit. We don't know what it's going to be, but that's why I love this opportunity presentation, because we hit on a lot of those facets. There's another tool. Again, sorry, did I miss anything? Oh, Angie was talking about the quality for the baby products with eczema. Her baby had eczema. We're also hearing, because we're recording and you can't read this, you came in as a nursing student. Mona came in as a nursing student, and she wanted the savings. That was me. I was broke 18-year-old college student, and I wanted the savings, but I heard 50%, and if I sold it to at least one customer, I'd never pay for mine the rest of my life. Done. Over that, right? So it's those things. The no quota, Pat Clover, no quota, only obligation to give it a try yourself and see what happens. So again, Esther, same thing. I didn't know anybody where I lived. I wanted friends and I wanted money. What I love, and the reason I asked you to share, do you know many of those comments and stories are in this opportunity brochure? So if you were in Dallas, you have one. If you weren't, it's March. But if you we're not in Dallas, okay? If you were not in Dallas, I have a few, not many, but Miami movers, you're my priority. So if you will, text me that you did not go to Dallas and get one, okay? I can't give anybody who already has one anymore because I really have one teeny little stack, and when I'm out, I'm out. So if you need one, we will send it to you. We could probably even scan this and post it for you. And the reason I love this is as you build your list and you get confident with your words, this is so good. We were talking about the Royal Jelly Guide as a fold-out guide. It's a great way to do a party. Here's how you present the opportunity. And so take a moment each day and just turn to a page and really read. Think about, I love the page about the Jafra opportunity. Could be fun money, pay bills, change your life. Really pause and think, okay? So again, think about them. Observe, be open. You're just opening their mind. You're connecting to them and getting to know them. You may not even talk Jafra the first time you connect with them. I don't know. They might just be a friend. But then again, complimenting. Janet said this well. Compliment connect with them, and set up a way to connect back again quickly. I noticed this about you. Forgive me, I'm not always like this, chasing someone down the street, but here's why. Whatever that is, she gave you some really kind of cool ways. And remember to somehow invite them somewhere to try the product, watch a video, come to your Jafra facial on, Facial Fridays. You're going to host that on Zoom or at a coffee shop. Have a place to invite them. So I want to just pause, and I want to come back to this. So what did you hear from tonight, and what ideas do you have that you're going to do now to ensure the 100 focus, the fun, make it fun and celebrate every day you do 5. Give yourself a high five somehow, or whatever your goal is every day. Any ideas you have on how you're going to make this happen? We're going to take a minute or two of that, and then I'm going to have Nicole share why she loves GoPro. I don't know. I just love that. So I can't wait to hear her passion. But any ideas? How are you going to make this happen? What's going on in your mind?
I want to thank Janet so much for reminding us. I've been putting my leads in my phone, and somehow they just sort of go away or whatever. I'm going to go back and use the notebook again. Thank you, Janet. And I love the idea. Yes, we can cross it off. And I also like the idea that go to page, whatever it is, for follow-ups too. So thank you, Janet, for that.
Love it. Thank you. All right, great. What else did you gain from tonight, Miami Movers?
I think just a renewed commitment to do that 130 days.
Awesome. We got to have one focus, right? Just have fun with that. And trust it. Trust yourself. Go out and share. I love it. Thank you, Cheryl. Anyone else?
So Jackie.
Yes,
Michelle. Okay. I'm just thinking, hearing Janet again just reminded me about how it was when I first started. It was just like that, meeting people, talking to people, which is something I love anyway. And in fact, the last Tuesday night, I went to go see my grandson do hip hop. And while I was waiting for him and my daughter to show up, I was talking to a woman. She had this cute dog, and we had this long, long conversation. And she's like, "You're a grandma? You're too young to be a grandma." And it just made me really, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, these are the connection, because I have to go back and see my grandson because he's adorable, right? Everyone who has grandkids know this. But it was just that seed. We had a great conversation on my way out. Even my daughter spoke to her, and I'm like, okay, we'll see you next time. And so I already, in my mind, I'm thinking about the people that I'm connecting with. And so hearing that tip again from the book is just that little refreshing. And really, that's when I have the most fun, when I'm not like, oh my gosh, you need Jafra, right? You need it. Of course, they don't know they don't need it. But I mean, that's the best way. So anyways.
Love it.
Thanks.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. I love that. And Lucy's out here saying, oh my gosh, I remember when I was sponsored, I said, I don't know any people. I remember Lucy saying that. Absolutely. I think she was at an Ignite meeting when Evelyn had sponsored her. And she said, and then it turned out the more I did this, the more people I know, right? So I love that. It's so true. So are we going to have fun with 100? Yeah. Okay. Did somebody else want to share? Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
Oh, no problem, Jackie. I think the what Janet said was great. I know I pass out the sachets to everybody, but having them follow up and send them, the royal jelly video, that was really a great idea. So they have both to be able to try it, and also the video as well here. So I thought that was a great idea. And also with me, I just wanted to say one thing about joining Jafra. I know when Miss Patricia Clover, every time I would come over and place an order with her, she would actually tell me what she was going to do with the money that she was making from the orders here and stuff. So, so basically having having someone tell you, and she would do it in a fun way, because she asked me every single time I came over, are you ready to join? And I would say, no, not now. And she's like, okay, well, this extra money is going to pay my bowling fee tonight, or, so every time she would tell me as far as what she would be doing with the extra money that she'd be making from the orders I was giving her here.
Yeah, thanks for the cash. I got to go to a banquet for bowling.
I know.
Thanks so much to me. I just want you to know what I'm spending your money on, and when you're ready. Again, you know what's so cool? Be yourself. That is Patricia Clover talk. That I could totally hear her saying that, right? Now that may not work for Roseanne. Okay, you need to be you. Be authentic. Be genuine. Be yourself. But be so enthusiastic and passionate to be able to gift them with the option. If you don't know how they're going to struggle the rest of their life. They start every morning when they go look at their face in the mirror. Be the solution center. I have to share one final tip, and I know our time's getting to the end here, so we've got to go. But I have to brag also. Carla Spurgeon today, I'm all about what I love about Eric Worre is he really just kept lodging in. Not that we don't know what he talks about. We have this training in Jaffa, but there's something about it before I turn it to Nicole, is what he really talks about using tools. Let the tools, that's why I love this opportunity meeting we saw tonight. Let the tools be that, oh my gosh, like that's why that royal jelly video alongside a sachet. It's another notch of, information, simplicity, and excitement. And then they see the brand of Jafra is, wow, I could duplicate this, right? And Carla Spurgeon, her and her team did amazing last month. She's going to work, we'll have her team sharing with us in the very near future. But I just wanted to pinpoint one thing she said today. Which is so smart, she invites people to take a look at Jafra by just going to JafraRoyalty.com. And it just dinged a bright light in my mind this morning, Carla. So thank you for sharing that, because it truly was about, we're seamless. We don't have to hide. If you go look at other companies, you got to have a passcode to get in. You got to get information or get connected to a consultant before they show you anything, share anything. And she'll just say, hey, take a look at Beautiful. And we'll hear from Carla a little bit next week. But she'll just say, take a look at Beautiful and watch a module or two and just see, what this business, model might look like for you per se. I'll let Carla do her words next week. But just imagine, again, all of these amazing tools are sitting here. You have a connection, you build a relationship, you plug in your tools or samples or books and follow up. And it's their timing. How many times did it take you? How many times were you invited to join Jafra before you joined? Curious. How many of you were 5 or more?
Years,
right? Okay. Lori was a one-timer. Okay, that's pretty cool. But you know what the best part is, like Miss Clover did to Miss Miles, which we're grateful for, is she never gave up because she knew that the opportunity was the best thing for anyone and everyone. And it was Shafika's choice. She never pressured. She had her fun way of doing it. That's going to happen. So I want to say thank you so much. Deanna, you're awesome. I love all your energy. You're doing awesome out there, Miss Deanna Miller. And so thank you for that. Great to see everyone tonight. I want to just close the session with just Nicole summarizing. She got the book. She read it in a day. Tell us, Nicole, why is this the bomb for you? Give us our closing thoughts for tonight.
Okay, so yeah, I read it all day yesterday. Just before I read, so I've been hearing about this book for at least a solid 2 years, and I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. Did not, whatever. Well, so I don't know what it was, but yesterday, or I think it was last week, I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna see what it's all about. Like, I picked it up, I started reading, and I did not put it down. When I was talking to people or trying to invite people to parties, opportunity calls, whatever, I was making it way harder than what it really is. So this book, like, he legit goes through, and I think chapter 2 is my favorite. It's called Inviting Prospects to Understand Your Product or Opportunity. He literally goes through 4 rules about, you know, you have to emotionally detach yourself from the outcome, be yourself, bring some passion, and have a strong posture. Things I had never thought about. And then he goes through the actual, like, invitation. He gives examples for warm markets and cold markets. And then, like, it shows, and while I was reading this, I was like, I'm trying to think of what would have happened if he were asking me this. And it's just, it blows my mind. Like, it's the best thing that I've ever read. Like, I don't know. So I'm definitely using, like, the 100 thing from Janet and this book, and I'm like, and he gives like scripts. I say like a lot, but he gives scripts on what to say, what you can say, 2 or 3 different examples. And yeah, let's go.
Go pro. Right?
I guess
keep your Miami gear. Got my, what are they, flamingos on? Oh, and I lost one, but that's okay. And I got my palm tree. So I'm just saying, next week, you're all sharing with each other. We brought you a trainer. We got you a focus. We got you a book that's going to align to it. I love it. Dan's got her pictures of Miami in front of her. Look at the postcards we sent out. So that's the key. Get yourself going. It's 100 this month, and we'll talk about next month. But let's get focused. Use your WhatsApp. Keep everybody going. Tina, I'll add you to it. I saw that, so thank you. And just super excited, proud of you. But next week, we want to hear success stories, what you did in January, what's working in February, and we're going to have a whole networking sharing call from each other, okay? You're the experts, and we're so excited to hear. Have a great focused week. Go make some new friends. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for recording, Lori. Appreciate it. Bye, everyone.